guys. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to you guys out there. My name is Fanny Reinders, and today we are going to do another live coding with all of us together. Before I go on, when the whole intro was going on, Jan de Vries subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much, Jan. Much appreciated, and also welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining. How are you guys doing? It's Thursday. It's in the Netherlands. It's cold. It's depressing. One thing to make us much better is, I think Visual Studio. I think this hat makes me happy. Coding makes me happy, and we're gonna be working on today. We're gonna be working on yet again embarking on my old project, taking the WinForms app, the legacy one, and modernizing it to .NET Core, and maybe making it a bit more workable and a bit more modular as we go on. The reason why I chose this code base is to actually prod a few experiments on it to see how it can behave with using newer technologies on an older code base, and also to learn from our mistakes. And looking back 10 years, obviously we would have solved problems differently than we do now. So it's quite interesting and quite reminiscing for me looking back at this code. Do not judge. Like I said, it's always fun to look back at your old code. It's still working. It's actually a miracle that I got it back, because I lost the source code a while ago. Jan de Vries watched an ad about a new and awesome game laptop. Now I feel I should buy it. Now, Jan, share with us which laptop it is. Maybe we can pop it on the screen and maybe talk a bit about it before we actually dive into the code. For now, I'm just going to quickly hit onto the intro. So, back again with some music of Happy Machines. It's called Mist, playing now in the background. If you do want to chat along, here on the side is a chat. Jan already jumped the gun doing some chat. And do reach out, do ask questions. If I'm not able to answer them, I'm sure Jan can also jump in. He's a normal viewer. Jan says, was in the intro of your show, a ROG Strix looked awesome. A intro of my show? Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, it's part of the ad. Well, thank you. I don't run those ads, but it would be cool. How are you guys doing? I haven't been streaming for a week, but I'm actually up for streaming again, so we can get this. The sound is a bit. Let me see if I can get it. So up a notch. That's much better. Okay, so we've got the music going. We're in the flow. Music is brought to you by Pretzel. It's a free app you can go download to play your music, background music, for your stream. Go to check it out at pretzel.rocks. I'm going to flip over to my screen, and we are left with of the project that we've been working on for past couple of weeks. And I think this was, I think almost 3 weeks ago or something. So this is old, for the guys that do not know, this is a old Windows Forms application. Quickly jump back to the actual exe. So this exe is a compiled version that I got that I actually initially built for my folks, using a plumbing company. And the source code is missing in action, it's gone. And I managed to get the exe from my mom, And no, she did not ship it to me via snail mail. I actually downloaded it from a computer using TeamViewer. But in any case, so I got the EXE and I was like super excited about what we can do to this 10-year-old application. Also with .NET Core 3 out, with WinForm support, and I thought, well, this is amazing. I'm going to be doing a kind of a port to it. My initial attempt was to serverless everything, and I think that was a bit of a big jump. But I think now we're getting there slowly but surely. Eventually we'll end up at serverless, don't you worry. But I want to take baby steps. We want to take it slow. We want to take it, we want to deliver value as we move on, without re-architecting the whole show. So this is pretty much a WinForms application. And I think if I connect here, they should be able to connect to oh no, there we go, it's the wrong server. So this connects to that server name server. It will probably error out now. Not rehearsed. Okay, so if we click this one should connect. Okay, it's also want to connect with SA, but you get the drift. This is a WinForms application. This button, these controls is my own controls that I've made. It's called the RateTech Cool Tool controls. That's also now in .NET Core. So we've got the same world living here now. And what we've done in the past couple of episodes, if I just run this, also do remind me to add this source code to GitHub so that you guys can follow along. You can clone it, you can send your pull requests and make it even better. I think that's cool. I like this music. This is cool music. It sort of keeps you in the flow. So anyways, obviously you will see some things missing, like icons and stuff. But we'll deal with that in a sec or later on, whatever. But the idea is that this is working and it's backed automatically now from Azure AD. So get this cool thing. I click here now. Instead of saying connect, and instead of asking the username and password, this is now pointing me to my AD tenant that's living in Azure. I already got a tenant called the Jobco set up, and I've got the fake user called Joe Soap. What was the password again? Was that the password? I forgot the password. Can you believe it? What was the password? I forgot the password. Oh my soul. That works. Okay, so I know what the password is now. So where we got last time is we log in successfully and get this access token. And I think what we can do now is we can use this access token across our application to authenticate, or actually to apply authorization rules to see whether this user has certain claims. Is he administrator? Is he normal user? Is he able to create a new job card or company or whatever? So we have the authentication process already implemented, which is a great thing. And I do also want to highlight something. In this week, I think 18th of November, that's like 2 days ago or something, Steve Sanderson blogged something awesome. He has made WebWindow. It's a cross-platform library for .NET Core. And if you watch my previous shows, that we had some trouble, getting this pop-up box when you log in. This pop-up box going, and we end up using a the SDK for Active Directory. But it turns out that it does only support full framework and not .NET Core. And my app is .NET Core, and I can log in with Azure Active Directory from .NET Core, but it pops up the native browser. I wanted to pop up the native like a window, my own window, not the one I make, but sort of a managed window, the same experience you would have gotten from an Android phone or iOS device. But that's only supported on a full framework. So it's a bit of, what should I do? So I ended up implementing, the way I've implemented this is by calling through a proxy. And because it's all going away hopefully soonish, when we all are moved to the web, then you don't have this WinForms thing. And I've built this Azure login proxy, and that's a full framework application, and that's as small as possible, as small as you can get. And its responsibility is basically just relaying. It gets a window handle as an argument. All right, and when it runs, it uses the Microsoft Identity Client SDK, and because it's the full framework, it will support the native window for the browser control, and it will execute it with a use embedded web view, which is not supported in .NET Core, but it's supported on full framework, right? And so it's basically calling into this application, and how it's doing that is going back here. I think it is here somewhere. Just have to find it again. Oh yeah. So I've got this function login with Azure AD, and for now this is kind of a hack, right? So I just call this exe, and I give my argument is the handle of my main form. So I pass that through, and it turns out that it executes this Azure logging proxy in a managed process, right? I think it's in the same process, right? Called process.start, with these process arguments. And then when this runs, just go back here, I give it with parent activity or window handle. So I give it the ID of the handle it should attach it to. So when it runs, it actually attaches it to the .NET Core application, which means that if you log in and you click at the back, it acts as one application. It's not a separate application. In fact, if you go to Task Manager, you'll see everything runs under the job card process. It's amazing. So although it's temporary, I think it's mind-blowing the way we've kind of implemented it. In any case. So this takes it a step further, the web view. So going forward, we most probably want to be able to host a Blazor application. There will be a time where we host this WinForms application. It's not going to be WinForms anymore. It's going to be cross-platform web, which is hopefully Blazor. And for a time being, for a very limited time, there will be a kind of or maybe we will see how it goes. There might be there will be a native shell around it all the time, like an Electron application. But because Electron is heavy, WebView solves this problem. It's a cross-platform WebView library, so we can just ship it as a native app. Well, it is native. It's no quotes. A native app that loads a Blazor application. So Jan says, my dear Jan, he says, wow, you're so running a random app inside your .NET Core app. That's some next level inception. Now, it's not a random app. It's the one I've built myself, the proxy. But it's kind of, I can control what goes in and what goes out. But yeah, it is next level inception, if you want to put it that way. Right, so this WebView, I want to see how far we can. I actually always wanted to sort of try this out, so let's try that. Let's quickly try and implement WebView. So before we go on, let's go make the... is there a sandbox here? See, sandbox? Yes, there is. Make the web view. And we say web view. And we can say .NET new where console. Just want to quickly try out this this web view thing before we move on, because I like to do these kind of POCs impromptu, unrehearsed. Move that there. Great. So, and I think what we need here is an item group. If I can type. Oh, it's already there. Forget it. It's already there. Thank you. That's there. Okay, so we now can just navigate to that. Cool. Let's run it and see what happens. Yes. Restore. Do everything you need to do to make this thing work, man. Okay, so cancel that. Web view, control dot. How does this work? Do I format this? Yes, there we go. So obviously I'm not going to say my super app. I'm going to say something like .NET is awesome. And navigate to string, who needs that, right? So we're going to say navigate to URL. And guess where we're going? We are going to, not my blog, come on, we're not going to my blog. We are not going to my blog. Oh no, no, I'm joking, I cannot go to my blog. It's HTTPS anyway. Let's go to SDNcast. That's our weekly podcast that we do every Thursday night. It's Dutch, but sometimes we do it in English, depends on guests. Kasi, guest, SDNcast. There we go. We do like demos, events of the week, and news of the week in tech, in Dutch. You can go just view that and to see how I speak Dutch. And I think Jan can concur. My Dutch is not so bad, come on. But do check that out. If I run this, I should be able to see a window pop up. Okay, I'm expecting something. Comma, typical. Darn, comma. Let's run this again. Access is denied. Okay, that's the first time I run it. I get access denied in my face. You're a pro in Dutch, says Jan. I know a lot of people who speak it a lot worse. Pat Hermes. No, I'm joking. Pat is a great guy. I miss Pat. But Pat has gone back to his home country, Australia. So I will go visit him, have a couple of beers. Frisayan. Okay, mostly. Oh, get what you drift. Okay, so what is wrong here? Access violation. Attempt to read protected memory. This is often an indication of memory is corrupted. What? That cannot be the case. Oh, Friesland. People in Friesland, eh? But it kind of opened up the window. Okay, so I think first of all, let's see if we can get this. Get this demo working of Steve. Also access denied. Ah ja, Jan is Fries, eh? Okay, so I get an exception running this, and this is not really what I wanted, what I expected actually. Hey. I think there's an issue maybe. Bold edge. Why is this failing? Is there a newer version of WebView? Let's check it out. NuGet.org. WebView. A web window. Hey, this is samples. Hey, Blazor. That's what we want. I'm gonna quickly clone this because this should work out of the box. I can make this joke. Okay, so run as administrator maybe. What should I run? The VS Code as administrator? Okay. We can try that, see if that works. Dev, sandbox, WebView. Oh. Silly me. Let's see, run as administrator. Okay, now we run this and see. I don't think it will solve a problem. It gives a different error, which is good. Edge can't write and read to its data directory. I see. So it tries to... Okay, so that means... that works. Okay, so for some reason when you launch the debugger, it doesn't work. So I think it's just an error on the... maybe .NET Core 3 or something dodgy. What am I running here anyway? .NET version. That's how you check your version of .NET Core. So I have the latest .NET Core Stable 3 version installed, which is good. Control build. That should build a guy. Okay, so now let's see. If we open up again. Why is this music not chill music? It's supposed to be chill music. Let's see. Ambient, upbeat, holiday, chill. That is, it says chill, but it's not chill. This is chill music. Okay, so dev, sandbox, WebView, bin. Now we should be able to see SDNcast. So this is a native Windows application running in .NET Core. And this is where we're going to be heading. So we're going to be using WebView. The moment you start at exe, it's going to be executing the WebView. And I was thinking of creating a similar mechanism for it to open up the authorization endpoint, meaning this. Where am I doing now? Top card, this one. Let's see if we can go in here. Debug. Chromely. When you connect this, whatever running is on the background here, I need to open up. That's the authorization endpoint that I need to kind of open up. So I was thinking of doing that in a kind of a web view, and when it posts back, I have like a timer or something to grab the access token. that could also do the job. But for now, let's see how this works. So we have Sandbox. So let's quickly go to CMD, git clone. I think it's that, right? So that clones web window. Exit that. And web window is here. When I go to samples, let's open up the Blazor sample. I think just open up with code should be fine. Hey folks, if you just joined us, welcome. We're doing some coding, nothing formal, nothing too serious. I'm just now looking at WebView. It's a .NET Core implementation of Chromium, I think, or Chromium-like or something. Should be able to press F5 and just make it work now, right? So it should just work. If you cannot commit your repository, the moment you can git clone and hit F5, then it's a winning. You shouldn't be git clone doing things to make it work afterwards. That's not value. You should be able to clone it and run it. And I think what I'm doing now is wrong, so just run it. Okay, there's still maybe something wrong with the debugger, but in any case, so it compiled. So if I go in here, this opens up this is what we want. We are moving towards this model, whereby you have a Blaze application. Okay, it's even got the little web it's even got the little context menu of Edge. In any case, interesting. So it's using, okay, that's Mono, WebView 2. Okay, so it's interesting how this works. So we will be eventually incorporating WebView when it's a bit more, I think, more stable, because this is very experimental. Use Visual Studio with C++ support enabled. You must build in 64 configuration, not any CPU. If you don't seem to be updating, right-clicking and test assets to rebuild. Okay, we will take a look at that, definitely going forward. Okay, so stopping this guy. Let's sort this stuff out a bit. Do some housekeeping while we move on. This data is the data layer that we're busy building, and functions we're busy kind of stripping away. But the idea is we want to keep, I think I've got SQL. Do I have Data Explorer? Data Studio. I've got the database locally running. I think that should be able to, new connection, MS SQL local DB, I think that's the database name, right? So no, it's wrong. I need a slash. Now I have to wait 6 years. Hey, thank you so much, Kladubia. Am I saying it right? CL Dubia. Thank you very much for rating me for a party of 12, man. Let's celebrate. Let's do like a caption. Welcome everybody. I'm doing .NET Core coding. How are you doing, dude? how do I say your name? I always get these folks with cool names that I cannot pronounce. CL Dubia, I think. CL Dubia, thank you so much for joining. Are you a .NET guy? You're in the right place. We're doing some .NET Core goodness, migrating a legacy app to .NET Core. CL Dubia, that's how you say it. CL Dubia, welcome man, welcome. And I'm figuring out why this does not work. Thank you so much for bringing all your friends. Your friends are my friends, folks. Thank you so much. If you guys want to follow along, please, on the chat here on the right, you can ask your questions. We all help each other. And oh, so much. Thank you so much. I've got like another one here. It's like a transparent one. It's a SDN cast hat. That's our weekly Dutch webcast. It's weird because it's grey. The light is green. That's why. Go check out SDN. Go check out this website. So SDN cast. Oh, by the way, this website, actually I'm going to open up again. So this website is an old ASPX or old ASP.NET Core application, and it's also part of this stream that we're doing. Is we've been doing a version of this. I think it's preview.azurewebsites.net, I believe. SDN cast, is it preview or I can't remember if it's preview or not. I can't remember. I'm gonna quickly check. Oh yeah, there we go. SDN cast NL. I'm gonna throw this on the chat as well. So this is a Blazor version of the exact same page. So if you go to sdncast.nl, we are working towards creating a Blazor version of this. So awesome stuff. No, that's not preview, come on. This one. This is the exact same application, but it's Blazorified. So we're also doing that. So if you guys into Blazor, do check out, do follow along, do follow my show. Sometimes we'll dig into this application. This is almost done. We've basically converted the ASP.NET Core application 2.2, I believe, to .NET Core 3. And it's called Blazor. That's awesome. That is awesome. CL Dubia, we just had done some Blazor server on my stream. Please, can I get a shout out? Please, can you share your stream? We will definitely take a look at it, and I will want to. I don't think I've got the shortcuts to do that shout out. I don't have that. I should actually implement it. Sorry. I'm gonna make a mental note of it. There we go. Thank you so much for posting it, CL Dubia. This is your stream. I'll go and follow you. It's Streamception. It's Streamception. Let's do a Streamception there. 1 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. 3 times a week is lit, man. It's cool. Doing a little Streamception. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked now. I'm getting super sidetracked. Let's cancel all these things. What is all these things? What? JSON viewer? Oh, this is old. This is so old. Why is all these browsers popping up? Okay, so what do we have here? So how does this work? So when I run this application, these icons that you see here, it's actually just read from file, and it's reading from this from the same directory, and it's by design because the old application is working like that. The first phase of this is to get it working as is, but with a bit more modern backend stack. Think about replacing the user management with Azure AD, and also having it run in the cloud mainly, but still have it sort of modular so that you can upgrade it a bit. And I want to dissolve the WinForms part of things to make it web-based basically. Let's see what's happening here. I think it's in here, and there we go. So if I'm not mistaken, it should be reading it from the debug here, I believe. Wildlife fetch. So the JCC files, or the files that it's reading, that's the little icons you see, and that's basically just a 3-line file. It's all the way around, looking for that server and that database. So if I connect to that, we should be getting a database. So there we go, and we have our auto closed ones. We have our tables. So basically, what we can do is this company info we can still keep. Like I said, keep everything as is. But this system user is basically now redundant, because now we're not saving users anymore. We could still somehow make use of these things, but I want to be able to get rid of this. Team is not used at all. Team was a thing that I was trying to implement, but so there's a database, and I wanted to be able to run in Azure. And the idea is that we still need to have this file mechanism to be able to have shortcuts to your database. So it's a database per tenant. But the idea is that when we move to Azure completely, or the backend, we will most probably move to Cosmos or something, and we will chuck all the databases in a Cosmos DB, make it more manageable. It does not need, there's no legislation saying that it has to be separate databases. Just make it one service and chuck all the databases in there, or even make it multi-tenant from the get-go in one database. Okay, that's enough ranting about what I've done. Moving forward, what are we gonna do? We need to hook this. When we log in, we need to take this access token and we need to somehow hook it on to the main application and then validate it somehow. I don't know how, but because now it's not obviously logging me in. So look at this music. If you don't mind, I'm gonna skip it because it's a bit heavy. That's much better. It's not here. Where is it though? Main. It's been a while, so please bear with me. New company event handler. Okay, that's a new event. I think that now there's dependency injections. So we can actually simplify that. That's cool. And we've got load app, we've got all this stuff. Application exits. Okay, so that's all the things that we need. Okay, so let's see. sign in success. So this is called where? When... Okay, so login successful, it calls sign in success. So this is the open company old, and this is the open company new. So we have got the token, and then how would I know if this token is correct? How would I do that? Because a token can be blank, right? So should I care about it? Validates JWT token C#. Okay. Interesting. Console application. Maybe there's a create and consume JWT tokens. Okay. So that's the key. Blah blah blah. Symmetric key. Credentials. There's the payload. What? Handler read token. Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Maybe it's this one that we use, but what's the difference then between the other one? Just installing NuGet packages. Why not? Manage NuGet packages. Go look for the system identity model JWT. The stable version. We install that guy. Then if I'm moving too fast, guys, please ping me so that I can slow down. Okay, so we've done basically this part. It's a part we don't need to do. I want a handler like this. Okay, put it here maybe. That's a token. So what we'll do is we'll put this guy in there, and it's just getting the token right. CL Dupia, thank you so much for joining. You're heading out to go hop on a final phone call for the day. Enjoy the phone call. Hope it's good news, and see you again later. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so now token. Okay, that's the token. Maybe call this token string. Okay, so what will happen if I just do this now? Hopefully this works. Connect. Nothing is working. Maybe it was not the right answer. There we go. I think it broke. It doesn't like that though. Well, let's see why. Move the quick awareness to move it into exception to see where it breaks. That's what I normally do. Don't take it from me, just trying it out. There must be a way of me remembering the password. Okay, so that's an exception. So it says, what is the exception? JWT is not well formed. Okay, so that's the token needs to be in JWS or JWE compact serialization format. Interesting. So is that not a JWT token then? From Azure AD. Okay. You need to verify the ISS and or claims. Okay, blah blah blah. The access token from Azure AD is a JSON Web Token. It's a JOT. JOT includes 3 parts. Okay, so that's what we have. So let's copy and paste this code. Stick it in here and hope it works. Okay, so this configuration manager. Oh my soul. OpenID configuration. None of these things exist, so we need to kind of add. Where does this come from? That comes from there. OpenID configuration. Signing tokens. I think it might be this version. Just like spitballing, yeah. Cool, that works. Issue signing tokens. This does not contain that one. Issue signing keys. So do that, will it break? I don't even need this. Do I? I just want a handler. So let's see, validate. Let's call this validate JWT. Call that there. Pass in the token string. Okay, so to be sure that we're actually passing in the right one, I'm gonna put a breakpoint there so that we can see when this thing launches. Okay, when I type the correct password, there's the token, F11. Okay, there's the handler. It still gets the same exception. JWT is not well formed. Let's Google that to see what is wrong. There's a problem. Okay, so it says this works for them. I beg to differ because it does not work for me. So put that in there. Token string. Interesting. JWT security token. Is this something different? I double checked that, yes, it's a version. No, it's JWT security token. It is that one. The namespace incorrect. Okay, encoded string though. I don't think it will work though, so let's just see. Okay, this is a legit token, right? So even if we do this, let's go to jwt.io. This is where you go to validate your token. Here we go. I should be able to get a header, the payload, which is the data, which is the audience, it's the issuer, and all these other funky things. Joe Soap I need, and I have his email address, you know. But sadly that doesn't work. Okay, so it has 3 segments, but not in a proper JWS format. So that's invalid signature. It's not a certificate thing because I don't know where is it? I don't know. Okay, this is getting the same. Okay, let's do the same thing. Okay, so let's see if this works now. Give me some more information, man. This whole episode goes on creating authentication. Should be simple, but sadly it's not. Okay, so now it's giving me a bit better. JWT blah blah blah. Okay, has 3 segments but not in proper JWS format. Do I need to... Now there's segments, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. It turns out that the key size for the security key needs to be at least that. The length of verifying is not obvious from exception, so since is hidden. Adding the line, the new exception text, argument out of range. Okay, so interesting. So this thing, I probably need a certificate. So No, that's not right. Guess the thing cut off or something, most probably. That's public key. So that's the thing, I don't know. Should I download a certificate or something? Critical vulnerabilities. What? Okay, so I need to now go back to the drawing board. How do I do this? Okay, access token using the access token issued from your root or URL should be treated as an opaque. Okay, so that versus that. The second one can be treated as JWT and validated. Okay, so hello, Martin van Stam, and I don't have the handlers and the fancy commands out there. I like human interaction. So I'm busy working on that WinForms application of mine with our journey towards serverless, but we're going to be doing some steps to validate a couple of things. Currently, we are checking out how to authenticate via Azure. We already have it working to log in the user, so instead of saving my own passwords, now outsourcing that to Azure AD. So I'm getting back the JOT token, but I now need to validate whether it's valid or not. And I get an error, 12739 error. It's not the same error there. I think this is also the same error. I can actually paste in my token in here. I'll give you the exact same answer. Something tells me that I need to new line constant. What? Oh man, what's happening here? New line in constant. Okay, maybe it's that. Cool, that should take away the problems, right? That's also the same. Okay, so unable to decode the header as base64 encoded string. Okay. Let's add this guy in there. Do I have? No, I don't have that. So most probably need to include the logging mechanism. in there. Oops, that should go away. Now I should not see the... Okay, so could not decode header. Okay, as base64 encoded string. Okay. And if I do that, get the same problem. Alright, so let's see if we can figure this out. A JWT encoded string, JWT header, raw payload, raw signature, issuer, audience, so it's a JSON Web Token that has been serialized in a JWS compact serialized format. Okay, JWS format. Oh no, this is a spec. From JWT. Okay, so a signed or encrypted message can be serialized in two ways: by following the JWS or JWE specification. Okay. The structure of a JWS token, okay, it's this way. But I want JWE. Okay, so JWE is JSON Web Encryption. Okay, so I need some kind of... So JWE compact serialization, a JWE token is built with 5 components, separated by a period. A header, encrypted key... Oh no, all these things. There must be a better way of doing these things. Come now. Let's go back here again and say do that. Validate audience, validate issuer. Let's go validate issuer signing key, and I think that's by default false. Let's see what happens if I go to this website. Okay, so this is the... Okay. Did you know you were announced on the Clark Laws Discord friend announcements? No, I did not, Martin. I did not know that. Let's quickly see what's happening here. Okay. I'm gonna quickly check what you mean. Okay, so whatever. Am I announced here somewhere? Oh, cool. That's very cool. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the shout out there, and thanks for organizing it, Martin. Don't want to lose too much focus now quickly, because I'm in the flow of things, and it's annoying me now because I've got its error. Martin says that is why you get this much viewers. If somebody's serious. 7 is not much. 7 is okay. I appreciate every one of them. That's still an exception. Oh, come on. Okay, so this token is wrong. There's something wrong with this token. Maybe I think maybe the problem is not there. The problem is with the output. It might be. Let's try that. So we have got this proxy thingy. And the standard output that it returns might have a limit. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to say good old file, the write all text, write token.txt, just for the giggles, and write the result in there. So now if I log in, okay, that's the token I get back. Ends on Q. And this is the token it reads back. Aha, can you believe it? It ends not on Q. So I go in here. Check this cool trick. What you can do is you can actually, before you go in, you can remove. You can add stuff again. Okay, I need to give it some. You could do that. Add a value in there. You can change the value. Still doesn't work. But now I get a different error. So signature validation failed. Unable to match key. Blah. Exception caught. Okay, so I'm getting somewhere now, at least. So now I know the problem is the output. Go now to JWT here. Well, actually, let's paste this guy in here. Okay, Newtonsoft. Just waiting for the thing to install. I'm almost 100 followers. Wow. It's just not working or not. Oh, there we go. Jason. Okay, just install the latest one. Does it need version 10? Run again. Run again. Something is working or not working. It's actually breaking. So what we can do, you can say token string is file.read all text token.txt. I know it's not the right way of doing it. Bear with me. I just want to see where my problem is. Okay, so that's a token, does that, and that also goes into the error. Okay, so cannot read token, return false. It's not well formed. Still the same error. Well, it can. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board here. Let's go all the way back. And we say validate access token from Azure Active Directory. In C# validation of access bearers tokens. Let's see if this happens. Okay, so let's go here. Maybe. So protecting a web API. It's too much words. While you should always validate tokens issued by the resource with developing, your application will also obtain access tokens from AAD. AAD will provide access tokens in whatever token format that is appropriate to that resource. And this token itself should be treated as an opaque blob by your application, as your application isn't the access token's intended audience. And thus, your app should not bother itself for looking into the contents of this access token. Really? Your app should just pass it in a call to the resource, and the called resource's responsibility is to access. Really? Is that the case? So there's some kind of service that does that? So I need some kind of API or something then, that you're saying? When application receives an access token upon user sign-in, it should also perform a few checks against the claims in the access token. Audience, not before, issue a claim, announce. Okay, so okay, this is not C#, so my eyes bleed if I see VB. Okay, so we can paste this token here. This works. How can it be malformed? It's not malformed, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so found a solution based on blah. That's what I had last time. So I had this thing in here. We need to get this working. So check this in there. Hey, this looks like it's does not contain a constructed it. Configuration retriever. Well, in this case, it's null. Okay. Okay, so my tenant is, let's actually do that. Oops. Like that out. I'll make a const string. Duplicate that and make audience. So my tenant is what? I just need to get the name. This tenant ID again is 1830. Okay. And the audience do that, I think. I think so. Configure wait. Okay, so what's the problem here? Issue assigning tokens. Okay, issue assigning keys in that case. Config dot assigning keys most probably. Certificate validator. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Certificate Chain in trust. Okay. You know, it would be nice to get a proper sample, you know. Let's go to the code. So another way of doing this is creating an API, which is maybe not a bad idea. To say user. And it will provide it. Validate. Nothing like that in there. Token cache helper. Come on. Interesting. Check if there is a JWT in a authorization header and returned unauthorized if the token is null. Pull the OpenID Connect discovery document from Azure AD. Yes. Config manager. Bolt, okay. Right, so this is a list of valid issuers, validation parameters, valid audiences, and that's basically token validator. What is token validator? So let's see, we maybe do it like this. And tenant in this case can replace with tenant here, right? So it should be that. Let's make this a vil. Oops, small letters. Audience and client ID. I think the audience is that. And a client ID. Let's just say client ID. Is that important though? Because we could use this. Okay. Please work. Doesn't even build. That will work. Hey, that worked. What? Okay, it's got an exception. In here they've got a config retriever. Config retriever is not in here though. What version? Five 540. Okay, so let's make that 540 and to see if that will solve some of our problems. Okay, 5, we'll make that 5-4. Don't shout at me. We're all are friends here. Still get exception though. Config retriever should not be null. Okay, now I cannot do that. Configuration manager, discovery endpoint. How is that possible? Oh, okay. Just would help. Okay, so now go back here, change that back there, compile, go. That should compile everything. It will go, if this works, we'll go back and make it pretty. So far so good. Waiting for activation. What? Cannot be, can it? Nothing happens. Waiting for activation. Oh, I need async. Await. Man. Let's try again for the last time. It's not the last time. It's not doing anything though. It's concerning me. Let's go here. Okay, so it's all these things. Configuration. It gets all the configuration. The handler, the valid issuers, the parameters. Now it tries to validate it. That kind of hangs. Okay, so throws an exception. Doesn't look like it's throwing an exception though. Let's see what happens here. Try. It's still the same error, man. Well, you know what? I forgot something. Take that off. So it should not read from the file. It should just get the token back. it's invalid. There's an enter there. There's an enter. I wonder if we should remove. Is there a line? How can that be possible? So our token, I want to see something. Token is token.replace. I'm going to replace n with nothing. And I think there's a problem with the carriage return. That's the problem. Our little proxy is sending back the token with a enter. See that? So we could go here and say, oh, it's RN. Okay. So we should, it's definitely that. So now I'm just replacing carriage return line feed, and that will fix it. Watch. Because the proxy is returning standard output which contains an enter. Now it will work. See, now it does not have an enter anymore. Oh, it does. Rn. I want to remove Rn from the equation. Rn. Let's do that. How many times must I log in here? There we go. That's, oh, still the enter. Really? I want to get rid of Rn. Ah, I'm an idiot. Should be that and should be that. Then I can still use string empty. That little green squiggly made me a bit confused. The point is I want to remove carriage return and line feed. Or you can do that. SBW15. Thank you so much for that suggestion. That is actually, will that work though? Trim. We will try it. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. And it's okay, now it's a different error. At least now we're not getting that anymore. Signature validation failed. That's what they say here. Okay, so blah 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 token. Just gonna see if that works. Trim, because that's actually a much cleaner solution, and we should trim before or at the proxy. We should actually trim it there. That also works. Fantastic. Great suggestion. Thanks. And now I've got a different problem, which is cool. Okay. Stop. All these things. What did I say? Yeah. Configure the project. So we have a tenant. Find the app key that and replace it with the existing value of the AG tenant name. Okay, so in my case, it is not the one I'm looking for. The job card company, so it should be tenant ID should be where? Properties. That should be this guy, right? 183. That is the one we have here. That's that one. The audience. So the audience is app ID. Okay. Is that a thing? .889. We've got 889 in there, which is fine. Okay, so I have no idea. So let's do that for now. So it's cool that we get a different error though. Cool. Okay, so it's a different error, so we can investigate this. Signature validation failed. Keys tried. That key, and that key. Okay. Well, there is a... I can live with this. Okay. What will happen if we don't pass that keys in? Still an exception. Hey, app ID 889. Is that the audience maybe? It's the same as the client ID, so it's fine. Okay, what is the problem? If the authority is not set, it will cause the problem. Okay. Where's the authority then? I'm having the trouble manually validating WD, blah blah blah. Okay. Token parameters, issuer, signing key, validate audience. bit you're missing is loading the public key from the discovery endpoint. Okay, how do you do that? That's interesting. I use this making some. Rash, thank you so much for the follow. Cool that you're here. Welcome. Sitting on 92 followers, almost 100 followers, folks. Thank you so much. Hey, see if I can maybe do that. That will break a bunch of things. What is this authority? Constance.authority. Where do I get this from? Oh, here. I see. This is now using a different... Oh man. So complicated. So what we can do, we can build a service for this. Okay, interesting. Okay. So I'm not going to use this. This is way too complicated for what we want to do. And signing keys. Where does it get the signing keys from? Okay. Okay, there's the signing keys. So for some reason, it's not able to. It's not able to read this properly. Signature validation failed. Keys tried. That one, that one, that one. Maybe the issue is let's see what happens if we do that. Also same problem. Why oh why? Okay, so on .NET Core, let signature returns true. Okay. No first bytes. At the top level, so you're setting the keys directly into the token validation parameters. You can do the following. In .NET Core 2.2, when I containerize an app, I add token. Okay, what is this then? Oh my soul. So this is .NET Core. The access token audience of your API makes sense to validate tokens that you consumes. Other audiences will take care of their own. Okay, but that doesn't mean okay. So valid audience, valid audience, validate issue or true. So I'm gonna try this for the last time. Because I feel like going in circles here. Okay. Token. Okay, so return validated token is not null. Well, return a security token. Which is that guy there. Throw. And throw. That should take care of the rest, right? Most probably will get the same error. But if it doesn't work, we'll stop there. Get some rest and maybe continue tomorrow. Okay, same problem now. I need to go back to the thing here. .trim. What should I do here? Go to trim, yeah, just to Okay, so the keys does not validate. Okay, so the keys does not validate. Why? We don't know. I have no idea why the keys does not validate. This is something we can maybe look into solving, because we need to validate this. Okay, so let's see. This is the config in. Is that whatever that is? As expected, the token is in a format that needs to be transformed. Well, I'm just trying to read what is the best way, best solution. Maybe if we say validate audience is false, will that be any significance if we do that? Nope. So I think the problem exception called nothing. Let's try that. I don't know what this means, but fine, we're gonna try this anyway. So modulus get bytes. This is token, I believe. Let me set the token here again. I think. Will that even make sense? Let's see what happens when we run this. No. Succeeded when using graph.windows. Okay, so maybe we can use that. Maybe that is something that we can look into. Valid audience. I don't think, will that be, I don't think that will work though. No. So it's doing this thing. Okay, so let's try the exact same thing then. I have no idea what that is, but fine. Okay, and take out this one then, what? Actually, let's do this. Let's comment this out, put that in there. See if it makes any difference. Nope. We'll figure it out. But I think for now, we're going to be doing some research again, I think, on that. So, womp womp womp. Yeah, so it was great. It was great for you guys to be here. Thank you so much for ever joining me so late. So tomorrow morning I'm going to be, no, not tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. That is around 8 o'clock, 8:30 Central European time. So catch me again. But before you leave, let's see. Let's quickly see who is on Twitch that we can raid. Robert Tables. Let's do that. I'm gonna raid Robert Tables. Let's raid Robert Tables. Are you guys ready? Let's go.
I wanted to make a move as X and see a square marked with X, and I think I was doing that bad boy. So what was that now?
Whoopie-doo.
I can't even... Yeah. Oh, now it changes. Fanny Renders, rated with the party of 6. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on, come. Raiders. Fanny, how was your stream? What were you working on? Do I like D&D? Do you mean Dragon Drop? Or Dungeons and Dragons?
I was playing with Azure AD.
It's up to you to ask the question, Ava. Fanny, so Eliminated Space, it's the acronyms. I don't know. Been struggling with Azure AD. Oof. Well, I can't help you a lot there, except to tell you I probably would struggle with that in AWS too. To be fair.
That's cool.
Even though I'm, predominantly more of an AWS focused type streamer, mostly just because of my line of work.
I'm gonna stop it there.
But
go check out his channel, Robert Tables, on Twitch. I'm heading out. You guys, do take care until Thursday. Cheers.